I think God might have saved me in my dream. But let me explain to you so you might have a better understanding of what I mean by that. So I was following my mentor and through a narrow bridge over water. We were trying to reach the other side, but there was no guardrails there. So if you made a wrong turn, you're going to fall into the water. But once we got to the other side, he parted ways, I parted ways. My small car turned into a van. But I found myself arguing with this person. And in the van is my wife and my daughter. I'm arguing with this guy. I don't know for what. He was with his partner. But he was so angry about something that he put his weapon out and he started shooting. And I ran to the van because my gun's in there. And once I got my stuff, he was in front of us and he started shooting. And obviously my wife was right next to me. My wife and my daughter was behind me. So I kind of got up to make sure, protect my family. And I got hit. And so I put my weapon and I started shooting at him. He ran to his car and I went to his car and he started shooting at me. Right? He faced me, started shooting at me, and I shot at him back. And he got hit twice in the chest and one in the leg. And his wife was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And my wife had called the cops. And he heard the sirens and he left. He dipped. But I got hit. And I remember I fell face down on the floor. When I did that, I felt so weak. I couldn't get up. I tried to get up, but I couldn't get up. And my breath were very shallow. Every time I took a breath, I would feel a rattle in my throat. I feel a rattle in my chest and in my lungs. And I remember I told myself, and I felt it, and I thought, I'm probably going to die. And I said, I can't die because my wife needs me. My daughter needs me. And there's so much things that I need to do. And I remember I started praying. I said, Jesus, Father, don't let me die, please. I put my breath, I put my lungs, I put my breath in your hands. And I remember that in mid-prayer, I fell asleep. And I was still conscious because I could still hear people around me. And I remember hearing a lot of boots running. Once the medic team picked me up, right, I woke up and my breath was no longer rattling, right? It wasn't perfect, but I was able to breathe. Once the medics took me to a medical facility, when I woke up, this is where the dream gets a little bit weird. This is where I think God was in my dream. Because when I woke up, I was looking at myself. I was watching my body in a hospital bed, but I was outside of my body. However, I was inside of another body. But this body felt more like an angelic vessel. It was an older lady, right? She had a caramel color skin. She had white hair. She was very sweet to the nurses. She was very kind to everybody. But she was sitting in front of my bed, right? It's like, here's the bed. The bed's here. And there was like a couch thing right there. So she was sitting there. She was just watching me. And I was able to see myself through her eyes watching my body. Inside that vessel, I felt warm. I felt loved. I felt cared for. I felt rejuvenated. It was as if my spirit was being healed from the inside out. And then I could speak through the vessel using her voice, but the vessel could also speak for herself. You know what I mean? I remember I was going to tell the nurse, hey, listen, do you believe in miracles? She said, yes. I don't know how, but I think I told her that this lady was an angel. I think she believed me. But then I was going to tell her that the person speaking to her was my soul, was me. My body was there and I was in this vessel speaking to her. But it's like if maybe God or the angel told me, hey, keep that a secret. Right? And that was the craziest thing. I woke up, I had stitches, and they sent me home. Now I was talking to Chad about it, man. One of the craziest things that Chad said here, right? Psalms 118 verse 17. You are mine. I hold your life in my hands. Even when you are bleeding, I have you covered in the spirit. You will not die, but live and declare my works.